Hello, this is my 1963 356 I picked up in 2022 in August of last year. I've been working on it non-stop for practically almost 1 year. I have show pictures. Hopefully I could put it in this video. I'm not good at editing, so hopefully have my wife help me. But I'd like to show you before pictures too, but this is where it's at today. When I acquired this car, this whole fender was tore off, was non-existent. The only thing that was hanging was this door and was all smashed. This passenger door was kind of kinked. The doors wouldn't shut because I guess it landed or flipped, and so the roof was all tweaked. It was sitting a little lower. The roof looked like someone got a baseball bat and had a good old time on it. I'll bring this over like this so to show you. Now I sat there, dollied it, made a homemade English wheel so I could roll it after I pulled the dents out, so it's really nice and straight. Probably had almost no filler in there. So was the fenders. The rear quarter panels were quite dented up and had flat spots, and so was this. The back end, it looked like it got rear-ended at one time, and it was all bonded out and it was nasty. So instead of trying to fix it on the car, I pulled it off and also ran it on my English wheels. I have a little bit more fussing with it towards the bottom where the exhaust comes out. Not a super big deal. Also with this was all flattened from it rolling. Also I have a secondary English wheel I made, so it's easy to get into the little spots that I can't get the bigger one in. So it kind of helps if you make your own English wheel to help you make the panels more flat and true and round, and you know, you try to not use too much filler. Filler is, I see a lot in these cars. I've seen people buy these cars and they look really nice, and then when they sandblast it, it's all Bondo. And what was nice about this car, I only had one paint job. It was a bad paint job, but the people who I bought it from, I guess they do restorations, and they had this car sitting in the back, and it was all really heavy surface rust. Someone had stripped most of the paint off of it, which kind of had it exposed to the elements. The people that I bought it from bought it that way, and they probably just thought it was not cost effective to restore this car, so they sold it with a couple other cars, and they were in Newport Beach. They're nice fellas, but you know, just like anything, these cars they have so much money for, and you have to really look at your budget and see if it's practical. I had a friend that had a 60 Studebaker wagon, and he gave it to me, and he said, just sell it and, you know, use the money for your Porsche. What was weird about it, right after he gave me the car, within a month, he got killed in a motorcycle accident. So this is kind of a personal thing for me, building this car in his honor. But, you know, he was a really nice friend, and so it was nice to have the money from the Studebaker to buy this car. You know, this hood was all trashed. So I, you know, sat there, unskinned it, and ran on my English wheel. And it was, I was almost gonna throw this hood away, but now it seems pretty decent. This part right here on the fender, where you look inside, all that was smashed from the accident. I got that all nice and straight. Pretty much exactly like the other side. It's a mirror image of that. Replaced the floorboards. I don't know if I said that earlier, but fixed the pedals. Everything's ready to go. It's now I'm getting ready to do the lead work. I'm excited to do that. I made a little ladle, a little burner. I made it out of a acetylene tank cover. I just sat there and made that, and throw my torch in there, so I recycled the lead, and I've been making bars out of it. So far I made these bars. These are from something else, but I'm gonna use it to put back where it came from. Factory sure loves to use a lot of lead. I even also made my little paddles myself. As you see here, the car has a lot of potential now. Before it seemed very discouraging at first. When I made this fender, I had a hard time getting this right. So I was off by the time I put it on. So I had to cut this out and put it in the right location so the tank would fit correctly in here. Unfortunately, that was my only boo-boo when it comes to doing that, but it's okay. That could be filled with lead, and it's pretty flat and straight now. Also, I acquired a 1968 912 engine, which has air conditioning in it. Kind of like the bracket. The guy I bought it said, just throw that thing away. And I started thinking, hang on, we live in California, it's hot. And today's gonna be a hot day. So I said, you know what, I'm keeping this thing. I'm gonna restore this AC too. The car was in a garage fire. The lady's son caught the garage on fire, and the only burnt part was the top part where the carburetor filters were. I took the carburetors out. They're soaking right now. Hopefully I could get this thing started. I rebuilt the transmission for the car, sent it out to Rancho Transmissions in Anaheim. They seem to do a really good job, so I just got it back a couple months ago. So hopefully this motor doesn't need to be rebuilt, but if I have to, I will. Like I say, this car was pretty much a basket case. A lot of missing parts. I acquired a lot of parts through eBay. I drove to San Francisco to get seats out of a 912. I had to cut them down to fit the car. They're a little wider than 912s. I believe maybe the car was in this pile of junk. I don't know. But you see this picture on eBay and on the internet. I always look at that picture and I said, where's this car at in the picture? Like I say, the roof was really bad. I had to come across a way of fixing this. So what I basically did, run a straight line from the center of this to the back, and I measured it every 6 inches, and then I got a come along and rams and whatnot. There was a guy that did a really nice video. I guess he lives in the Newport Beach, Huntington Beach area. I'm not too sure where he's from, not too far from me. I have never met him, but he inspired me to do this roof. And I took it to the next step. I just wanted this roof almost perfect before I do any other body work. I understand where his situation was. It was a pretty nice car. He just wanted to drive it. And so he fixed it his way, and it's kind of cool. It's got history from him working on it, and he's really passionate about it. So I take my hat off to him. You know, he did a really nice job. Also, there's a guy in England that's building one of these, and what a rust bucket that thing is. And I could see he's getting ready to do all the structural parts, and I guess his name is Dominic. And I hope that he doesn't get discouraged. Maybe this video will help him. I sent him a couple comments. I hope it, you know, and didn't try to be rude or anything, but man, those cars are quite a feat to work on. You just look at just the spot. Is this the spot weld? Is this in there? That's from the factory. Crazy. I mean, these guys must have got paid per spot weld. But like I said, it's so hard to drill them out. I use my plasma cutter to blow them out because usually the metal behind is bad anyway. So the longitudes I saved because that was the only thing that keeping the car together. And I made the parts underneath a little bit thicker gauge steel. Fixed all the heating tubes. Reused the same heating tubes. They were in pretty good shape. Like I say, the floors were replaced. I had to make that piece that's in there kind of pretty detailed. But like I say, the hood wouldn't close because the hinges were bent. Took them all apart, sandblasted them, and straightened them out as best I can, and boy, they work nice now. The hood opens up and closes really good. Still gotta work a little bit right here, not a big deal. Probably the lip is a little bit, it's hard without the rubber on it, so to get it right. This is a little low, but not a big deal. Just have to either let it out or try to pull it out a little bit. But I mean, as you look at the car, pretty good, decent shape. Hopefully I could insert a couple of before pictures on this in the video. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless you guys.